had come through at about $3, I'd have $3 million. But anyway, this guy Kukla, he's got dinar, and he puts out a weekly bulletin about how this shit's coming down over in, Iraq, where they had the weapons of mass destruction. Of course, you remember that? Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, that's what I'm sending you because it was up on my screen. I like to read his.
Hey, either of you ever heard the story that part of the reason they went at Saddam was because he's sitting on a Stargate, an entrance to a Stargate?
I didn't know that. I never heard that.
Yeah, and not only that, the reason why they went after Gaddafi because he took care of his people and wouldn't allow the British banks in his country.
That's exactly right. He was putting up a go-back bank,
Well, and not only
that.
To his country because he went by the United Constitution, he went by the United States Foundation, and it said if you were 5 or more generations in his country, you didn't pay medical, you didn't pay dental, you didn't pay electricity, water bill, nothing. And if you got married, you were guaranteed $50,000 in a new house.
I sure. Well, that was in the one that that's from the country that was assassination within a year or 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
You talking about, who are you talking about?
Gaddafi.
You're talking about Libya, when we attacked Libya.
Yeah, you're talking about Libya now. Did you also know that Gaddafi was responsible for the one of the most phenomenal waterway systems man of our time and era has ever known? That how many miles it was, I don't know. The pipeline was huge. The pipes themselves was you could run and stack 2 of those large earth movers. You could run 2 of them through the pipe. It was that big, and they did it for like 400 miles across the desert.
Yep.
It opened up this water oasis to Africa, a piece of Africa that had no water, and created it. And then the so-called the American Empire for the Vatican City out of London, yada yada, blew up that pipeline. And that's another thing about Gaddafi, and he was giving them all the water for free.
Yep.
Seemed like I read something. I read something about that somewhere. It rings a little bell somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he
did some phenomenal.
It was a 40-year It was a 40-year project. He
did some phenomenal things down there in Libya. He really did. Now it's a bloody mess.
Yeah.
Well, so for 40 years, he had people working on this pipeline. It's a phenomenal thing. You got to see the pictures of it online. I know you will now that I've mentioned it.
Huh.
Hey, gentlemen, I'm going to be ending the show. I just want to tag base with you guys on this. We're going to end the show. It is after 8, so I like to close. And we'll pick this up next Monday night, and I will be starting one next Sunday night, too. I'll start doing this so we can start getting into other stuff. But if you guys got suggestions and ideas what we should be covering for everybody to learn from, please send it, and we'll start getting this opened up so this way we get these conversations out. So this way we don't make it a conflict of interest. We make it educational for everybody involved, because if we don't educate the children and the grandchildren and stuff, they're not going to have a future. We know it, and that
is... Hey, Ed, here's something in a quick 10-second blurb. The reverse mortgage, they've been using this across the land from Maine to Oregon to take, of course, reverse mortgages is steal the lands and still keep the posterity from getting to it. But they've been reverse mortgaging farmlands. And number one, they're not supposed to be reverse mortgaging farmlands, and they're not supposed to be reverse mortgaging over a certain amount with certain age people on certain acreage lots. I just found out. One lady is getting to keep her 68-acre horse farm that she worked her entire life for, a school teacher, because this company, these mortgage people, reverse mortgage, they did this to her, and then they farmed out the taxes to a third party. But there's just a lot there, and she found out this through, getting in the trenches and getting the pickaxe and the shovel and listening to men and women and working with men and women, and in this interim she got one of the bankers from some other bank to call her and actually give her this skinny, but it was only because he's seen all this paperwork that she was filing, pissing back, on him, as one might say, and he got involved somehow, and he called her out of the blue and spent 3 hours with her on the phone to tell her how these hoodlums, these hoodwinking, bellywhacking, pettifog talking, poppycock talking shysters been scamming her on the reverse mortgage process, and now they're running for the hills and heading for cover and ducking and hiding and asking her what she would settle for, when they was fixing to run her onto the streets. A woman in her late 70s.
Tie into that another night here, because I do plan on getting into that. That is a fact, because I know what you're referring to. If you could send me more information on that from her, we could get that tied up, and so we could work on that one. But anyhow,
okay, I've got one question. You made some comment about Sunday. Of course, here it is Monday night. What were you referring to on Sunday night?
So Sunday night, I'm going to be doing another show just on topics that we need to start discussing of how to file and start doing this like we're doing on Monday, because I'm trying to get people to start filing the criminal charges on their attorneys, their congressmen. I got a template that's almost finished up to start doing that. So when you have a city council, and I've got a template on the website too, for requests. And
are you incorporating the Public Wealth Rebate Bank into that process?
Eventually, you're talking 192.
Well, of course, that's the foundation for everything behind currency or money. But the Public Wealth Rebate Banks are where the people have their standing, status, and capacity.
Right, but we make sure we have evidence to prove it, not hearsay, because I'm not going to walk people through like some other people have done that put them in jail. I'm not going to do that because I'm not setting my...
agreed. The evidence is the bond. The evidence is the...
know all that, but
the
do it so nobody goes to jail. The main thing is doing it correctly, and I'm working on that, still doing the research, so that way it cannot be a conflict of interest.
Okay, so I'm clear on this. You're going to be up Sunday and Monday at the same number, 715-0864, at 7 o'clock my time. I see I'm Central Time here.
Right.
Okay, that's good. I'll see you guys Monday or Sunday. Right?
Hey, Don, are you familiar? You put the information on about a call yourself. The 28th Amendment. There are some folks out of Kansas that run a call every Tuesday night. Are you familiar with that?
I know
call?
That's the group I was affiliated with. Hey, why don't you take my cell phone number down so you'll have it up there wherever you are? I guess you're up in Oregon too.
Yes.
You got a pencil?
Yes, I do.
918 area code 697. Yeah, 697. 1275. That's my cell phone.
Okay.
Don Waite. Well, my name's Donahue Waite, but I go by Don Waite. W-A-I-T, like wait for me.
Yeah, I like those humorous emails. I like the humorous emails that you send.
Oh, so do I. I had to send that back to what's his name about Trump being a papist. Get over it, and I had to send it back to him, going, "Well, the Bible is a papist. Get over it." It's like we already know what Trump is. We already know what's going on, and the only way to change it is if we, the people, file and do this stuff. It's up to us. People people to do this, and you elect them to represent you because you don't represent yourself. So, but anyhow, it's been almost 3.5 hours here.
All right. Good night. Good night. Good night, you guys. I'm out.
All right, I'll talk to you on myself. I would like to thank everybody for joining us this evening. We will be getting more information out soon. May the Great Spirit and Mother bless you, because without Mother and the Great Spirit, the Creator has no children, and we would not be here if it wasn't for the Creator. And so may you have a blissful evening. Look at real history. Do yourself a favor. Comprehend and read the historical evidence. Quit going by different structure of media and stuff that people do not have an understanding of what the truth is compared to what the facts are. So, and also, the main thing is on your birth certificate. Hello?
Understanding, it's a comprehension.
Anyhow, the main thing. It's a what?
It's an understanding, it's actually a comprehension.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the correction. I like that when I get corrected. But for the comprehension to look and read this stuff, and on your birth certificate, please do that. Send me an email. I'll send you what I've written up on this for you to read. You can decide if you want to use it, but at least the information that's there is lawful and legal, so that way you can protect your bloodline. And remember, if you do not file to own your bloodline, you do not own you. You do not own your children. It's your responsibility to know the circumstances and the facts of your ownership. And you have to own your body, you have to own your bloodline, and you have to own yourself. If you don't own your blood, the government owns it, and that means you are disposable. So may the Great Spirit bless you, and thank you for listening this evening and joining us, and you have a blissful evening.
All participants are muted.
I remember a teacher that I had. Now, I went through the 7th grade. I went to the 7th grade. And I left home when I was 10 years old because I was hungry. And I used to, this is true. I work in the summer and I go to school in the winter. But I had this one teacher. He was the principal of the Harrison School in Vincennes, Indiana. To me, this was the greatest teacher, a real sage of my time, anyhow. He had such wisdom. And we were all reciting the Pledge of Allegiance one day. And he walked over, this little old teacher. Mr. Laswell was his name. Mr. Laswell, he says, he says, I've been listening to you boys and girls recite the Pledge of Allegiance all semester, and it seems as though it's becoming monotonous to you. If I may I recite it and try to explain to you the meaning of each word. I, me, an individual, a committee of one, pledge, dedicate all of my worldly goods to give without self-pity, allegiance, my love and my devotion to the flag, our standard, Old Glory, a symbol of freedom. Wherever she waves, there's respect, because your loyalty has given her a dignity that shouts freedom is everybody's job. United. That means that we have all come together. States, individual communities that have united into 48 great states. 48 individual communities with pride and dignity and purpose. All divided with imaginary boundaries, yet united to a common purpose, and that's love for country. And to the republic, a state in which sovereign power is invested in representatives chosen by the people to govern. And government is the people, and it's from the people to the leaders, not from the leaders to the people, for which it stands. One nation, meaning so blessed by God, indivisible, incapable of being divided, with liberty, which is freedom, the right of power to live one's own life without threats, fear, or some sort of retaliation. And justice, the principle or qualities of dealing fairly with others. For all, which means, boys and girls, it's as much your country as it is mine. And now, boys and girls, let me hear you recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Since I was a small boy, 2 states have been added to our country, and 2 words have been added to the Pledge of Allegiance: under God. Wouldn't it be a pity if someone said that is a prayer, and that would be eliminated from schools too?
Now, we want to all thank you about listening on through the whole show. It is October 16th, 2017, and catch us next time on the new show on Sunday. Same time, same place. It'll be Education by Ed. And y'all have a good night.